We are about to get ready to get underway. Zach Melcher, 14 in blue, serving left to right on your screen. Right away, set in the middle, dug by Lewis. Back to the middle. Barry is dug, but a net violation committed by SoCal. Point Sizzle. Two sets to the middles right away. Neither connected on kills. The net violation gives Arizona the point. Perfect pass by Hurwitz. To the middle again. Melcher is lit up by Andrew Benz out of the middle. My goodness. Ben's shown some good sportsmanship, but it's got to feel good if you're the big SoCal middle, number 24 in white. He goes back to serve. Matt August enters the match, enters the tournament for the first time. Tough pass by Nadazden out to Lewis, the lefty on the left side, who misses it wide. Couldn't find his way around the triple block. Very common for left-handed players to struggle hitting on the left side of the court. And Arizona here stuck in rotation 1 for the time being. That is exactly where Brian Lewis finds himself. Another good serve by Benz, handled by Nadazden. Back to him, down the line. Great swing from Serge, number 11 in blue. Was definitely the go-to guy in rotation 1 for Sizzle so far today, or in the earlier match, that they lost to Team Pineapple. Very effective on that right side. He goes back to serve. We'll put a jump serve in play here. Good serve, working on England. August into the match over the top and off the outstretched hands of libero Drew Winterstein. For a Sizzle point Blizzard. Setter David Grandy back to the line. Perfect pass by Kawi Akamoa. Out to him. Into the hard cross court and off the block and down. Number 8, Joe Kawi Akamoa, the former BYU setter. He's had a brief but very impressive professional career in the top league in Italy. Now playing outside hitter for Arizona. An extremely versatile volleyball player, as many Hawaiian-based players are. Crushed out of the middle by Matt August. What a set by David Grandy. Getting his shoulders up there, tight to the net, both hands on the ball. August up high and nice and available. Crushes that ball to the floor. Luis Palos with the serve. One-handed set out to Kawi Akamoa. Bomb down the line. Bombs away. Highlight reel play there. My goodness. What a set by Melcher. Blizzard pleading that ball was out of bounds. Too fast for the average human to see, but all the officials on the same page. That ball was right on the sideline. Good serve by Lewis. Questionable contact there on the set by Grandy. Kawi Akamoa again tips over the top and down. Joe had a lot of success with that tip shot in the first match. Exceptionally good vision. Joe Kawi Akamoa, the former setter turned outside hitter. Hawaiian born and bred. Those guys see the court so well, play every area of the game. Joe confirming the stereotypes. England down the line is dug. Joe K will have another swing at this, and he puts it away cross court off the high part of the block. Kawi Akamoa flexing his muscles right now. Probably the most impressive international resume of either player, or of any player on either of these two teams today. Shown it so far. Sizzle takes an early 6-4 lead. Good serve by Lewis. Back to the left-hander. Dylan Emery is stuffed on the right side. Ball cut. Some of the blocks, some of the tape. We have a block on the stat sheet to big Mark Olson, number 5 in the middle for Arizona. Lewis ends the run with a service error. But a good trip back to the line for him. His team's got a 2-point advantage. Matt August back to serve. 5 serving 7. Haven't seen August serve yet today. It'll be a float serve, and it's a good one. Handled by Kawi Akamoa. Out to Joe. Hangs and detonates down the line off the edge of Grandy's platform. Kawi Akamoa showing lots of range, lots of shots. Lots of heat. Got a lot of options from the service line, too. Bump set out to Emery. Triple block is good. And Melcher throws that ball straight down. The setter getting involved, taking care of the overpass. Melcher had a couple opportunities in the previous match against Pineapple to put away overpasses, a few of which he committed errors on. That one he gets in the stat sheet positively. Back to Emery again, one-on-one off the edge of Brian Lewis's defensive effort. And down for the kill for Blizzard. Dylan Emery back to serve. Misses that one right in the middle of the net. It brings Grandy, the setter, to the front row for Blizzard. Haven't seen him set the offense yet today. Curious to see his strategy as far as being a front row setter is concerned, if he's very offensive or who he likes to go to in these rotations. Good serve by Olsen. Right on cue, there's a one-handed set from Grandy. Good block touch and dug in the back row. Roll shot easily handled. Good defensive play by Emery, but served right back up to Serge Nadazden in the front row, who takes care of business. Number 12, Keaton Berry, middle blocker, also into the game now for Arizona. His first appearance of the day. Good serve, handled by England. Out to England, down the line. Bringing the heat off of Brian Lewis. Lewis telling his block they did a good job there. They took up the space that they were supposed to take up. They left the line open intentionally. England just too overpowering on that shot. He will go back to serve. Number 46 in white. Perfect pass. Nadazden missed that one into the angle. I think that was touched by the libero. No touches called. Hitting error given to Serge Nadazden. Everyone on the Blizzard side was confident that libero Jake Hurwitz touched that for Blizzard. I think he may have. The officials think otherwise. England to serve again. Down 3-8, serving 11. Another good serve, handled by Joe. Back row ball, dug over pass, handled by Winterstein. Keaton Berry out of the middle is touched and dug. Chance here for Palos. Handled by Nadazden. This ball's coming out to him. High ball opportunity. Over the top and down. Nice touch by big number 11, Serge Nadazden. 6'7" outside hitter out of Long Beach State University. Setter Zach Melcher, number 14 in blue, out of Grand Canyon. He goes back to serve. Palos down the line. I think that ball's long. In on the sideline, long on the end line. That ball out of bounds. Good call by the officials. 5-point advantage for Sizzle here early on set number 1. 13 serving 8. Awkward overpass there. Where does Melcher go with this ball? Back to Lewis, who bombs away a hard cross court. Unbelievable swing by the springy lefty number 3 for Arizona, forcing John Shea into a timeout. Sizzle playing on fire right now, as their name suggests. The temperature puns for these two teams' names almost just make themselves. John Shea trying to figure something out on the Blizzard side. These two teams know each other well. Very different matchups than the first two games of the day. Teams that hadn't seen each other since the NVA showcase in Las Vegas over a year ago. Almost 2 years ago. These teams saw each other less than a month ago. And although Blizzard looks a little bit different than it did in Arizona a few weeks prior, team styles, philosophies, strategies very familiar with one another, all about execution and playing hot. Nadazden over the top once again, another transition swing for Arizona. Zach Melcher, running a really efficient offense so far. Getting all 3 of his pin hitters involved. Dribbled over the tape, handled by Palos. Pretty good block touch by Keaton Berry, but not good enough. Give Andrew Benz the kill, number 24 in white. Finally sides Blizzard out of that rotation. Matt Augustin in the match, serving in rotation 6 is Benz. Look for this ball to go back to Nadazden. Definitely touched by Drew Winterstein. Yeah, good call. Libero, number 6 in gold for Arizona, definitely took a touch. Just off the edge of his hands to that ball. Bends again, handled by Nadazin. Back to him. Down the line again. Identical to the shot he hit earlier in that rotation to side out. Impressive wrist-away swing by Serge Nadazin, who goes back to serve. That serve drifts well long. Well watched by the SoCal passing unit. Grandy to put in a float serve. Working on a dozen. Ball out to Kawiakamoa. Indeed it is. Blocked and covered. Can Melcher get there? Roll shot handled by Paulus. No outside hitter here. It's got to go to Emery, and it is blocked and out. Just out of bounds off the block. Get the kill to number 10, Dylan Emery, the 6'5" opposite. Both teams using a left-handed opposite player. A lot of advantages angle-wise, geometrically, for a lefty hitting on the right side of the court. That ball blocked off his head of Keaton Berry, excuse me. Ball kept alive somehow. Kawiakamoa wins the joust. Wipes it off the block of Dylan Emery. Out of the reach of Grandy. What a ridiculously unlucky play for Blizzard. Matt August was all over that middle attack. Stuff blocked it straight down. Came off the head of number 12, Keaton Berry, and popped right back over the net to the Blizzard side. That service error trims the margin to 4. Luis Paulus, number 4, 6'7" outside hitter, back to serve. Down 4, 13 serving 17. SoCal needs a run. Not going to get it from that service error. Brian Lewis back to serve, was effective there last rotation. 5-point advantage. Another good one working on Hurwitz. That's going to be an ace. Right on cue, Brian Lewis dials up the heat. Struggled serving against Team Pineapple in the previous match. Starting to find a rhythm. Here's set number 1 of losers semifinals. John Shea calls his second and final timeout of this set. Down 6. Going to be 19 serving 13 for Arizona out of the timeout. Again, the stakes are huge in this match. The loser is done. The loser goes home. Double elimination format. Both these teams lost their first matches of the day. This is losers bracket semifinals. The winner of this match will play first thing tomorrow against the loser of Pineapple and Icemen this evening. The loser of this match is out of the tournament. Got to run the table through losers bracket to keep your championship hopes alive. Sizzle off to a good start out of the timeout. 19 serving 13. Blizzard out of timeouts looking for some answers. Lewis again, dribbling over the tape and scoring on the ace. Blizzard, the victim of many of those today. A handful from the Chicago Icemen this morning, and now one from Brian Lewis of Arizona Sizzle. Unlucky play. Lewis knew that one as soon as he hit it. Could hear him say, "Oh no," all the way from here as soon as he made contact with that ball. Ball may have landed in Ohio. Matt August back to the line. Good float serve by August, working on Kawiakamoa. All the way back to Lewis out of the back row, dug by Grandy. Paulos can run it down, free ball coming. Where does Melcher go here? To the middle? No, back to Lewis again. Another dig by Grandy. Emery is stuffed straight down by the three-man wall of Arizona. Pretty good set by middle blocker Matt August playing left back defense. Maybe a little bit too tight. Emery could not find any seams in the three-man block. Kawiakamoa serves. Bends over the top, dug. Nadazin over the top, dug one-handed by Hurwitz. England is stuffed straight down once again by Mark Olson. Big number 5 in blue, Mark Olson, 6'7" middle out of Utah Valley College. Playing really well today. Joe Kawiakamoa to serve again, brings the heat that time. Decent swing, actually, on that by Benz. Let's going back to Lewis against the double block. Blocked and covered. Interesting choice by Kawiakamoa. Benz will have a swing. Wow, what a shot by the middle blocker, number 24. Interesting choice by number 8 in blue, Joe Kawiakamoa, setting that ball over on one, and it almost worked. Blizzard was ready, and they turned it into a point somehow. Middle blockers rarely take out-of-system swings, but Andrew Benz, number 24 in white, made it work on that occasion. Emery serve handled by Winterstein. One-handed set, tapped over, kept alive. Hurwitz will set this ball to England, who stuffs straight down again. My goodness, Nick England absolutely hitting out of a phone booth right now. Arizona all over him. The score, is 23 serving 15, an 8-point advantage for Arizona. Just the hot start they were looking for. Back to Emery, well off the net, somehow scoots it through the block and down for a point for Blizzard. August perhaps thankful to get out of the front row. He goes back to serve. Slaps that one well out of bounds. That brings up set point number 1 for Arizona. 8 of them, to be precise. Zach Melcher will have the honors as setter. That means Brian Lewis is back in the front row. That ball just out of bounds. Hurwitz dodges it again, luckily for him. 1 set point saved, but good luck scoring 7 points in a row on serve, especially without a libero on the floor. Andrew Benz will put a float serve in play. Over the net, handled by Barry. The Dosden down the line and in. Crushed right on the sideline by big number 11 in blue, and that'll do it for set number 1. A convincing 25-17 win for Arizona Sizzle.